What's up, 12s? Things are heating up in Seattle, and these latest updates could change everything. We've got a bold move running the offense, a serious battle going down for roster spots, and some behind-the-scenes buzz that could bring a big-time name into our locker room. There's major action happening on all fronts, and every single detail might flip the script on our entire season. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the alerts, because if all of this pans out, the Seahawks are about to become one of the most feared teams in the league again. Stick with me till the end, because this news is blowing everyone's minds. And it all starts with a bombshell decision that shook up the offense. The Seahawks' new starting quarterback is none other than the former number 3 overall pick in the 2018 draft, and this move's got everybody talking. The decision to move on from Geno Smith and go all in on Sam Darnold caught fans and analysts off guard. But the craziest part isn't about his talent or history, it's the contract. According to ESPN's Dan Graziano, Darnold's deal with Seattle is currently the most team-friendly quarterback contract in the entire NFL. That's right! In an offseason where teams were scrambling for QBs, the Seahawks landed Darnold on a deal that, if it doesn't work out, costs them next to nothing after 2025. The total value is $100.5 million, but only $37.5 million is guaranteed. That includes $32 million as a signing bonus, a $5.3 million salary for 2025, and just a $200,000 workout bonus. Here's the kicker. If Seattle decides to move on after the season, that's all they're on the hook for. No strings attached. But if Darnold sticks around 5 days after the Super Bowl, then a $15 million bonus for 2026 becomes guaranteed, along with a chunk of his salary. So basically, the team's got a built-in escape hatch. And this plan might actually work. Darnold had his best season yet in 2024 with the Minnesota Vikings, throwing for 4,319 yards, 35 touchdowns, and just 12 picks. That performance even got his name tossed into early MVP conversations. He clicked in that system, built his confidence, and now comes to Seattle to reunite with Clint Kubiak, our new offensive coordinator and his former play caller in Minnesota. That chemistry's already there. Of course, there's still some risk. We all remember the rough patches he had with the Jets and Panthers. If that version shows up again, his time in Seattle could be short-lived. But that's why the Seahawks had a backup plan. They drafted Jalen Milroe in the 3rd round, a talented QB with serious upside and a strong desire to learn. So here's what we've got: a high upside gamble, low financial risk, and a backup already on the roster. If it works, Darnold becomes our future. If not, Seattle walks away clean. To me, that shows the front office learned from past mistakes and is finally thinking long-term. But while leadership's playing the long game at QB, there's another battle brewing that could change the shape of this offense. Let's talk about the competition going on between the tight ends and fullbacks. Kubiak's arrival means big changes to the offense. Unlike the past systems under Shane Waldron or Ryan Grubb that leaned heavily on wide receivers, this one's expected to get the tight ends way more involved. And Seattle's got some real contenders in the mix. Noah Fant is still here, and while he's been underused lately, everyone knows what he's capable of as a receiver. A.J. Barner turned heads in 2024 with his blocking and solid hands. Rookie Elijah Arroyo enters the room with solid credentials too. But the plot thickens when you throw in 2 hybrid guys who can play both tight end and fullback, Brady Russell and Robbie Utes. Utes, a 5th-round pick from the most recent draft, is 273 pounds of grit and isn't afraid to lay the wood. Seattle wouldn't spend a pick on him if they didn't see a role for him. Then there's Russell, the kind of guy coaches love. He does the dirty work, holds his own as a blocker, chips in on passing plays, and shows up big in practice. All that makes things tricky, especially for one guy, Eric Saubert. Signed to a one-year deal after a stint with the Niners, Saubert has almost nothing guaranteed, just $517,500 in dead cap if he's cut. And according to Pro Football Focus, he's been just average as a run blocker and below average in pass protection. When you stack him up against younger, more versatile options with more upside, Saubert might be the odd man out. Given Kubiak's love for tight ends who can block and move around the formation, the flexibility of Russell and Oots could be what seals the deal. If you're digging this deep dive coverage, hit that like and subscribe, because we've still got more to get into. And of course, we couldn't wrap this up without the cherry on top of this wild offseason. The name Von Miller is officially on Seattle's radar. That's right! The 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and owner of 129.5 career sacks is still a free agent. At 36, he's no longer the unstoppable force he once was, but last season, even limited, he still logged 6 sacks with the Buffalo Bills and ranked 11th out of 119 edge rushers according to PFF. And then Brock Howard, former NFL QB and current Seattle sports radio voice, dropped a bomb on his show Blue 88, saying Seattle's already done some quiet background checks on Von Miller. They're feeling things out, checking his interest and health situation. The idea isn't to bring him in for every down, but rather as a pass rush specialist. With Boy Mafe, Derek Hall, Uchenna Nwosu, and DeMarcus Lawrence already in the room, Miller would be more of a rotational piece, or insurance in case Nwosu or Lawrence miss time again like they did last season when they only shared the field for 10 games. If this legend actually lands in Seattle, go ahead and pencil us in for a playoff headline. We're not in that wild era of reckless contracts and pointless risks anymore. Every move is calculated. There's a plan. There's a safety net. Bottom line, the 2025 Seahawks are coming in with a retooled roster, bold decisions, and a clear strategy. Darnold's deal could be the masterstroke this franchise needed at QB. The tight end and fullback competition shows that the team is raising the bar and only the most complete players will make the cut. And if Von Miller joins the mix, it's proof that leadership isn't just trying to be competitive, they want leadership, veteran presence, and game-changing production when it counts. It all points to one thing: the Seahawks are dreaming big again. They want back into the NFC spotlight. But now it's your turn 12s. Which of these 3 moves has you the most hyped or the most worried? Is Darnold really the guy to lead this offense? Who wins the battle between tight ends and fullbacks? And does Von Miller still have enough gas left in the tank to help? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you don't want to miss a thing happening with our Seahawks, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Around here, we deliver real news, deep analysis, and we ride with the 12s. Let's chase a season to remember, Seahawks Nation. Go Hawks!